So this person wants to have us take a look at their standing seam roof. It just got installed. They want to know how their installer did. Let's take a look. All right, so here's the scoop. Just had the standing seam roof installed over the last couple days. Went relatively smooth, although I requested smooth versus ribbed panels. So you didn't want the striations in there. And they didn't see that on the paperwork, and now I'll have to negotiate a discount based on their error. I've noticed some of their trim work looks like it could be redone as it's not even to the roof. The trim pieces ends are also not folded down. Hemmed, I think is the term. Thank you. Well, let's take a look what you got here, sir or ma'am. And picture number one. Everything looks pretty from a distance. It's typical though. And what do we have here? Okay. Skylight detail. Can't tell much from this photo. But, okay, they seal up your pipe. I do not like this skylight detail. Yeah. The whole slice into the... No, that's... Sorry, that looks like trash to me. Unless I'm just not seeing the picture right. But let me show you what it's supposed to look like. I'm going to show you photos of a chimney, okay? Okay. Chimney, skylight is the same thing. You're going to see here. Okay. So take a look here. You can see how on the side, the panels are folded up. They go up a little bit higher, and then they are cut. Okay. This is what your bottom's going to look like. This is going to be a Z flashing under here, and then this trim locks in. So it would look something like this, and you can see up in the top above the chimney, or skylight, same detail with metal, standing seam metal roof, okay? These panels, there's a separation there, so from the top down looks something like this. Then you're going to put in a back pan, and then with that back pan, then you'll put in you'll put in a Z metal, well, not a Z metal, I'm sorry. You'll put in a starting strip, okay? And a cleat. I'm using simplified terms. It's a cleat. And then you'll fold those panels and they hook in. And when it's all said and done, it should look more like that. That's not what I'm seeing on your skylight. So you can see the difference here. Yeah, I'm not digging it. They should have used the Z metal and the flashing and completely closed it off with the Z metal, and life would be awesome. But it's not awesome. Okay. Sort of same thing around these doggone pipes. I don't like. Here's back it better. I don't like this whole concept of slice the metal and just tuck it in, because when the sealant finally fails, you have a tiny, albeit very tiny, but a point of entry right there for water. Yeah, in my mind, this is just lazy, or they don't know how to do it right. Lazy or don't know how to do it right. I don't think either one's acceptable. Now, same thing with your vents. No, I don't like that. And here's what you're talking about with your rake metal. Let me get a better zoom in on that. So yeah, there's your trim piece, and you can tell, no, they didn't box it off. So expect beehives up there. It'll be a nice little treat for the summers. Here's another thing, and now I can't quite tell from the picture, but it doesn't look like these panels were, well, where I'm at, they call this tuning the panel, where the end of that panel and those ribs should be cut, and the panel should actually wrap around underneath and be crushed onto the drip edge up there. So if you were looking at it from a side profile, and this hand was the roof plane, this was your metal panel, it should lock over like that. And I can't really tell from the picture. Maybe they did do that, maybe they didn't, but I don't like I'm trying to zoom and I keep zooming me. Sorry. I don't like the open ends on the ribs. A good installer will take the time to trim those and fold the metal over. You can fill them up with sealant. All in all, I would maybe not so much push for a discount, but perhaps insist on having the non-striated panels that you wanted. Keep in mind when you do that, though, you run the risk of what's called oil canning. Oil canning can be, show you. That's oil canning, really bad. In fact, I don't, saw this house a few months ago, and this is probably the worst oil canning I've ever seen. In fact, this may even be just damaged material. But so the way you counteract that without using a striated panel, when you use a smooth panel like you're talking about, you want to make sure they use a foam rope. You can use other things. Where I'm at, we use a foam rope. So it's basically foam, and think of like a pool noodle, but smaller, the size of your pinky, and you'll run it would be the center line of the panel underneath it from top to bottom. Then you put the panel on, and that helps prevent that from happening. Hope that helps. I wouldn't be happy with that installation. That's not how I would have done it if it was me installing it. Yeah, and I hate to trash other people's work, but yeah, that was just it was someone in a hurry. Someone in a hurry. Happy roofing.